Hello, everyone. Uh, Very warm welcome to all of you. Thank you for joining us today for today's panel discussion on MSc Biology at Ashoka. I'm Siddhant Sharma, uh, current student of the 2025 MSc Biology batch. And joining me today are some of my peers. We have Ajit from the batch of 2024, Yogesh also from the batch of 2024, and Bhavna from my batch of 2025. And we are here to share our experiences of the MSc Biology program at Ashoka. And hopefully, we can solve some of your queries as well. Okay, so before we begin, I would like to inform our audience that the deadline to apply for this program, the MSc Biology program at Ashoka, is 26th April 2024. I urge you to apply early and secure your seat. Okay, so I also request our audience to kindly type any questions that they have in the Q&A box provided in their Zoom video and their Zoom screens and Zoom boxes, and we will address them at the end of the session. So without any further delay, let's get started to some FAQs. And okay, I'll place this question to Yogesh and all of us is that what were we looking or what were you looking when you were deciding your college for a master's program, and why did you choose Ashoka?
Can you hear me now?
Yes, we can hear you.
Yeah. So I did my BSc in physics from Ashoka only, and for that matter, PG diploma also in physics. And for my master's, I wanted to use those physics concepts in understanding the complexity of biological systems. And we all know it's very unconventional in India to change disciplines like this. So I was particularly looking for an opportunity where the program can provide me with a chance of like very inclusive about changing these disciplines. So one day I was walking in the mess, and then I saw the MSc biology flyer of Ashoka, and I was really intrigued by the range of courses which they were offering. So that was something which was really interesting, and I have worked in few labs at Ashoka itself, so I know that professors are here literally very inclusive about interdisciplinary aspects. So that was one of the main reason why I applied for Ashoka.
That is indeed something. What about you, Ajit?
Yeah, while applying for my master's degree, I sought out of liberal universities. So, considering my undergraduate experience, and I prioritized institutions offering not just academic rigor but also career focusing training. So, learning about Ashoka University's educational approach, the student life, and also diverse opportunities and facilities provided, piqued my interest particularly. And what particularly stood out was Ashoka's need-based financial aid program, which ensures access to education without imposing, any kind of burden. And this led me to, basically apply for this program. Yeah.
Right. Thank you. So for now, we have quality education. People talk about faculties, the research opportunities, the need-based financial aid. Anything else you would like to add, Bhavna?
Yes. The one more thing which I was looking at is most of the universities in India offer something like masters in biotech, masters in biochemistry. Either you would be very clear in your bachelor's on what you want to pursue your master's about, or you would want your master's to explore and then further, get to specialize what you want to. That is one thing that stood out for me at Ashoka. So now, right now, we pursue a master's in biology program, and we get to specialize what we want, like cell and molecular biology, biophysics, cellular biophysics, and your subject which you want to work here or explore here. That is something that stood out for me here at Ashoka. And yeah, that is what I was looking for. And I think Ajit very well mentioned about the financial aid here. So that's from my side.
That is, yeah, that is exactly what I was thinking about when I wanted to apply to Ashoka. So I and a lot of our peers have industrial experience before, and we were looking to transition to academia. And Ashoka as a place, I find it's very interdisciplinary. When you're coming from industry back to academia, it's very accommodating for a number of reasons. So for me, when I was looking at Ashoka, I was looking at my electives. What are the breadth of courses that I can take? Can I do short projects with people in chemistry or physics apart from biology? Can I bridge disciplines, and can I potentially pursue my thesis in interdisciplinary fields, which I can here? So all in all, it worked out fine. So moving on, how has our Ashoka journey been so far? both in terms of experiences, academics, and the campus life. I think I can take on this one. How has my Ashoka journey been so far? So currently, me and Bhavna have completed. We are in the second semester of our batch, and our seniors are there in their last semester of this degree. So our experiences will differ by a year, but again, our journey has been again very enriching so far. The campus is beautiful, as you can see here. The campus is very beautiful. It all provides a lot of other facilities that are there, and the academic rigor is certainly there. We are getting trained by very renowned people. We are getting the right pedagogy to learn and understand concepts. It's not rote learning. It's very practical, in-depth experiences. So my sugar journey has taught me a lot more about my own field, that is biology, and fields outside, because we can interact with other people and get insights on. So that has been my experiences. Anything else, Ajit?
Yeah, so since I'm from the second year, I have a lot of experience to share. So I will take what interests me. So for me, the journey so far has been, both interesting and also engaging, because the academics at Ashoka actually made me think out of the box. It's not only just classes and labs. There has been more that we have experienced so far. So beyond classes, for example, in the first year, as a part of course, we went into IIT Sonipat, IIT Delhi, where we have like advanced kind of microscopic and also different kinds of facilities such as cryogen, and so that was so interesting because we are going out and looking at things out of the university. So that was very interesting in terms of academics. In terms of campus experience, I think almost every day different clubs and societies are organizing programs. So if we need to if you need to take a break from the academics, then you can go and chill and party. Yeah, so that's all.
I think we all wanted to hear that. What about you, Yogesh? Oh, I think you're muted.
Yeah, can you hear me now?
Yes.
Yeah, so the experience has been really interesting for me. Academic wise, the faculties were really considerate, and I remember attending office hours from a lot of them to understand the concepts which I did not understand in the class. And the assignments specifically are like not very conventional here. So like the faculties won't give you like a bunch of questions to answer them, like but rather the assignments will be more like logical reasoning and critical thinking based. So I remember one of the professors giving us assignment like find out the volume of the cell without using the formula 4 by 3 pi r cube. That is something like really interesting, and which will like make you think out of the box, as he said. And my batchmates were like extremely supportive, and it was like proper symbiotic relationship. Whenever we used to get assignments on any course, I helped them with a few mathematical concepts, and they helped me with biological concepts, and we grow together. There's something which is really interesting. And I'm here in the campus from quite some time, and I did not like get bored of it. So that is one of the important testimony that campus life is amazing. And during my UV, like I was member of Kirdar, a drama club, and currently also a few of my friends are like a member of few clubs like Vistar. And so apart from academia, we get to explore like other things also. So that makes Ashoka life very interesting.
Yes, I think you covered and you touched based upon all of the key questions that people have. I would not tell the names of the interesting assignments that they will get for the future juniors. Let them do their on their own. But yeah, Bhavna, do you have anything else to add?
Yes. Something in Ashoka which I look forward to every week is every Fridays at Ashoka, there's this fixed slot 3 to 4 p.m. where they get guest lecturers from great universities and renowned scientists. That is something wow. And the other thing is, like, as a biology, as the community sits and listen to those guest talks, and the way the questions are being posed to the scientists and how they answer it, this all gives you an exposure to all the types of biological research that goes over all over the place, and how you can inculcate some of them in your academics or your research. This is something that I very I look forward to every week at Ashoka. So yeah, that is what something I wanted to add. Rest all the peers are great.
Yes, that is very convincing, because we had a talk just this afternoon, and it was really great, asking questions and hearing interesting experiences for other people. Peer learning is something that we very value here in Ashoka. We all learn from our peers, and I hope they do the same. And one thing more I would like to highlight is the amount of research opportunities that are available on campus, so that you are free to talk to any PI and find positions in their labs or shadow them. There's no one who is going to turn you away, which is very different from a lot of UG universities. And if you're coming from a non-traditional background, say you are a chemist who wants to pursue biology, or you are a physicist who wants to pursue biology, or you are someone who worked in industry, now want to coming back to academia, I think there's a lot of support from the PIs in regards to what you want to do here. So yeah, let's move ahead and answer and ask some other fun questions. What were some favorite courses that we had here in Ashoka, and who taught them? And why was it being taught? Who taught them? So I think I can go ahead and take this one. So my favorite course here in Ashoka was in my first semester, which was my elective, which was called Structural Elucidation of Organic Molecules. It's NMR spectroscopy. Wow, very interesting for people doing biochemistry. So I took it with the chemistry faculty here in Ashoka named Vidya Avsare, and I really liked that course because they were really surprised to see a biologist in an advanced chemistry graduate course, and they made sure that I understand the material very well. So I had different exams for me, different exams for the PhD students. I took it with the PhD students, and that is one of the very good point about Ashoka, that you take courses with master students or with PhD students, and you sit in the same class and you can discuss and learn the material well. So that was one of my favorite courses that I took last semester. I'm again continuing with the same professor with a course named Organometallic Chemistry. Very exciting. And I think Ajit will have a different answer to this.
Yeah, so one of my favorite courses at Ashoka was a seminar series course, which is in the first year, um, the first semester. So, the students from masters and also PhD fellows will be there in the course. And we are like, based on our interest, we will be selecting a paper and we will present. So that's how the course worked. And so it's not like, a course, it's like, getting to know each other, how people get interest in different fields. So there will be people from ecology background, there will be people from cell and mold background. So everyone come together and present, and there will be the course is basically to improve our communication and writing skills. So yeah, so that was one of my favorite course.
Bhavna, what about you?
Yes, there are most of the courses which I have really loved at Ashoka, like particular components. But right now, my favorite course, whichever I'm taking, or the course which I look forward to, is the developmental biology course. And I would like to tell that there is Professor Hiroshi and Professor Vijay Raghavan from NCBS who come here and take some parts of the course, and the way they take the course, the interdisciplinary approach towards the developmental biology is just mind blowing. I just love sitting in their classes and listening through it. This is something I don't think, I don't think these type of course is provided elsewhere apart from here at Ashoka. And yeah, developmental biology course is something that I really like.
So we got chemistry, we got dev bio, we got ecology, evolution. Yogesh, some physics?
Sure. Obviously, like I enjoyed most of the courses associated with biology, also, of course. But there were two important courses which reinforced my interest in biology. One was, and I'm talking during my UG as well as for my master's. But when I say that was my UG course, that doesn't mean that you cannot take during my master's. I mean, Ashoka has like open courses you can take like anytime. So that is something which is really interesting. So the first course was computer science and mathematical biology. It was taken by Professor Sudukto Tang. And the second one is force and motion in biology by Professor Rupert Navan, and I'm doing my master's thesis with him currently. And so if we talk about the computational and mathematical biology course, there was like the first course where I actually really got interested in how we could employ concepts like differential equations or analytical toolkit to understand the basic concept like predator model. So and if we talk about the force and motion course, that was the first course where I got to know that how the physics laws are very universal in nature and they could be literally applied everywhere. If we are seeing the nucleus movement inside the cell, there we are using hydrodynamics. So yeah, these courses were there which actually piqued my interest in the biophysical domain.
So we covered physics as well. So as you can all see, we have a wide variety of interests and wide variety of courses that are available. And one thing that Yogesh touched upon is the ability to audit any course that you want, even if it's non-STEM. Even if you want to study philosophy of science, you can audit that. You can take it as an elective, you can justify that. So Ashoka offers a breadth of courses across all disciplines and the freedom to choose based on the timetables. If there's no clashes, you can choose music if you want to pursue it. So that is one thing. And one thing Bhavna touched upon is there are very renowned faculties that are here giving these courses. She mentioned Dr. Vijay Raghavan and Dr. Hiroshi Amada from NCBS who come here and give the lectures. I can also mention Dr. Saurabh Pal, who is a very renowned scientist from in the field of quantum chemistry, who teaches us quantum chemistry. And we can just sit with him and have coffee. So that kind of experience is where you have all these people doing wonderful years and years of research, and you can pick their brains over a cup of coffee in the canteen. I think that is very unmatched. We also have Dr. Devi Prasad Sarkar from University of Delhi, who is shuttling back and forth as a visiting faculty to teach us introductory biochemistry. People having Shanti Swaroop names, people, Dr. Alok Bhattacharya. So there's a good balance of very early career, very passionate young early career researchers and very established names in Ashoka. So you would find a breadth of courses and a breadth of people to talk to. So yeah, do you have, if I can ask, I think we already answered some here, some of these questions here, but it's always good to ask it again. Do you have any particular research interest that were there when you were joining Ashoka, and what did Ashoka help you in terms of resources to pursue these interests? Is there anything that Ashoka provided you for your research interest? I think I
Siddhant,
think
you're
you are
muted.
no, I think Bhavna, are you muted? Can you hear me?
Yeah. I can hear you. I was not able to hear you before. Could you repeat it?
Yeah, okay,
Sorry.
that's fine. So I just asked, like, did you have any particular research interests before joining Ashoka? And now how is Ashoka helping them to provide you with resources to pursue those interests, or have those interests changed or shifted in anywhere?
So, research interest in, I was interested with stem cell biology and I wanted to pursue it when I joined Ashoka. But then the course structures here modified my research interest. And now, with the help of stem cell, I can integrate my particular research interest with the ongoing research at the with the faculties. That is one thing. And since we have short projects right now in the second semester, you get to work at two laboratories and then look how your interest and how your interest and the lab's interest can be modified together, and you can have a common goal to work towards it. In that way, Ashoka has been very supportive. The faculties are just a mail away. You can mail them anytime and tell them that you want to work in so and so thing, and they will be right at your. So yeah.
What about you, Yogesh?
So yes, like after the first year, we need to declare a specialization. I think Siddhant and Bhavna are at that position right now. My specialization is cellular biophysics, and I'm very interested in that. And specifically, I want to see like how the collective dynamics of protein affect the cellular physiology. So that is one of the important questions which I want to answer. But that's not limited to that, of course. So the constant meeting with GACs during our like from the first semester itself, we get a lot of guidance from all the GACs members. So basically, they tell us like which courses are good for you if you want to do specialization in this field. So that is one of the huge guidance system for us. And in the second semester we also get to take few advanced technique courses, which are not like 4 credit, 2 credit courses, and where you get to explore basic techniques. Like I took microscopy and a single molecule course, and the other was structural biology. These 3 courses are very important if we want to study the proteins inside a cell. So basically that's how we design our specialization on our own.
Yeah, I completely agree with looking at short projects and with looking at the amount of advanced techniques we are taking. So people who want to do protein work will take structural biology, microscopy, protein purification, and people who are very interested in neuroscience will take dev bio, advanced neuroscience, or other techniques. And it does not really mean that we do not have advanced techniques for ecology people. We have that. We have advanced techniques for everyone, each and every people that are here. And if I can talk what kind of research interest that I had before coming to Ashoka, and did they change? I don't think they just changed a bit. They got more refined. So before coming to Ashoka, I was working in an industry as a bioinformatics consultant. So after coming here, I did look at problems from a computational perspective, but Ashoka also gave me this chance of looking into wet lab or getting wet lab experience more. Being there in the lab, getting your hands dirty, thinking about your experiments is something that is there in Ashoka. Also, there are a lot of opportunities with regards to the conferences that are happening here, as well as organized by Ashoka. For example, the Society of Molecular Biology meeting that was organized by Ashoka in Dehradun. So a lot of people that were there in Ashoka who had some elite interest went there and gave their posters. We have Ashoka Science Research Festival. So there's a lot of opportunities to talk to people, to have a mixer, a biomixer of some sort with faculty. So there's always opportunity to present and talk about your work. We also have some centers that are there in Ashoka. So you have Department of Biology, you have Department of Chemistry, you have Department of Physics, but also you have centers that are there in Ashoka. Some of them that I can name is the Ashoka Chart, which is Center for Health Analytics and Research. We have a Koita Center for Digital Health. That is there. We have a Simons collaboration. We have a Simons Fellow collaborations and people getting hired through that. So there's a lot of things happening in interdisciplinary fields apart from biology, which you can connect to biology. So I hope we can answer. And if I can move on, looking at the interest of time, how are labs at Ashoka? Are they equipped with all the facilities that we need to perform this said research that we all talked about? Or what has our experience been working in a shared lab space? So Ashoka has a common policy of open labs, which me and Bhavna are exploring since we are in our second semester. But as Yogesh and Ajit have already explored during their course of their theses and all these short projects. So I think I'll let Yogesh go first, being the senior member here.
Since I'm working in like imaging lab currently, so I would like to highlight that aspect, and others can go and talk about the different directions. So if we talk about the imaging facility, we have some really advanced microscope at Ashoka, which ranging from a spring disk confocal microscope to epifluorescence and slide scanner, fluorescent stereo microscope. For that matter, few labs also have collaborations with IIT Delhi so that they can do the cryo-electron microscope if needed. And we also have a new GIS microscope center in TSP. That is one of, I'm pretty sure that will shoot the imaging techniques pretty high. And with that being said, Ashoka Lab offers multiple facilities which equips us to do research in the field of ecology and evolution to cell and tissue culture. So yeah, that is one of the important aspects.
Bhavna.
Well, Yogesh covered about microscopy. I have personally not taken this course, but life in neighborhood, I guess you get to go out, explore the life in the neighborhood, and this is something I think if you are an ecology person, you would be looking forward to it, and then you get assignments based on what did you observe or something like that. So in these ways, I think it's pretty great.
I think we should have had an ecology person with us to answer all these burning questions. But if I can answer on behalf of them, as I've seen my peers go bird watching or insect hunting or all of these interesting things that you thought about when you were an 8-year-old kid looking at Discovery Channel. This is what people here actually do. They look at insects, they identify them. They also look at their take their binoculars and do that. So from ranging from protein chemistry to single molecule biophysics to dev bio to advanced neuroscience to ecology and evolution, we have a lot of these facilities. If I can talk about, so my peers have talked about the biology labs. If I can also talk about the chemistry labs, because people in biology can work with people in chemistry and vice versa, because it's very open. It's very open to collaborate with the people and see other labs. No one is going to stop you from not visiting the lab. They are equipped with each and every state-of-the-art facility for characterization of your molecules, for building those molecules. And even if you want to, say, do biological work, and then if Ashoka, as Yogesh mentioned, is collaborating with, it's starting collaborations with a lot of different facilities to bring advanced microscopy techniques to TSB, the Center of Biosciences here, to bring other techniques for characterization, like a mass spec. So you, when you are here in Ashoka, you'll find a lot of state-of-the-art facilities that undergrads can also, or master students can also get trained on, which is just something very unknown. You will get trained on in with some supervision. So we are equipped, and if we have something that we do not have, say a very expensive instrument, we always have collaborations with, say, IITD Sonipat campus, which is just a stone throw away, or PIs having their own collaborations with centers in Delhi. So yeah, Ajit, what do you think?
Yeah, I think almost everything you guys have covered. But yeah, so as Siddhant told, like we have a shared facility. The thing is that being in a, living being working in a shared facility, it's not like working. We are like collaborating with different labs actually. So different labs are working in a common way. So time management and all those skills we will develop. And particularly since my lab is circadian rhythm lab, we have our own chambers for growing particular kind of algae, diatoms, etc. So yeah, so those are the facilities that we have.
Yeah, I think we were able to give a very comprehensive answer, and we can move ahead with some other interesting FAQs that people have. So this is a very interesting question, and there's a running joke that you should not ask this thing to a lot of people. What do you plan to do after completing your degree from Ashoka, or for our seniors completing your thesis from Ashoka? Is it a master's? Is it a different master's? Is it a PhD? Is it a corporate job? It's something very elite to sciences, like science communication, science policy, or which is backpacking or going somewhere. What do you think, Yogesh?
Yet you asked Siddhant. Okay, I'm going to answer this. So I'm very passionate about interdisciplinary research, as by now you might have all understood this by my answers. Because it feels like extremely satisfying when you look at very hazardous, complex looking biological systems, and when you are able to characterize it using very basic physics laws and mathematical equations that that okay, second law of thermodynamics can explain this very complex phenomena. So yeah, that's why I want to do PhD in cellular biophysics and quantitative developmental biology. Those are two important domains I'm looking at, and have filled my applications specifically in the Europe. Reasons we can discuss later on. So yeah, my aim after masters is to do a PhD.
So reasons that we can discuss later on. People who are coming, find Yogesh and discuss the reasons if you're there in Ashoka. What about you, Ajit?
Yeah, so I have a different story to tell. So actually, like I thought that I will do a PhD like everyone do, and suddenly my interest changed after going through so much courses and everything. Like we have certain skills that we developed in our masters. So why can't I apply into an industry setup? So that so I decided to join industry after masters, but still I'm figuring it out. And currently there are placements and all things going on for our second year. And yeah, luckily I got a placement in one of the education sector. And yeah, so that's my experience.
think we all deserve a party for that.
Yeah,
But yeah. So what was my thing before coming to Ashoka? So I worked in industry and I wanted to go back to academia. It's very different. And after coming to Ashoka, I really want to continue with a PhD, because I do not want to take or drop this momentum that I've gained in Ashoka for academia, and I would really have to, really would want to go headfirst into a PhD. Which country, which system Which PI I'm not really sure about, but yeah, this is something I want to do. And this is where you come into Ashoka and refine your more interest and talk to other people that is this the place you want to go? How is the environment there? The people here in Ashoka will give you very good answers about anything that you might want to ask for academia and even for industry. It's rightly pointed by Ajit that there's placements going on and people in doing a master's in biology, even if you feel that you are not capable or confident about data analysis jobs or consulting jobs or education jobs, there's a placement cell for a lot of us that we can avail. A reason a lot of people don't avail that because they want to do a PhD. The batch size is super small so that the results get skewed. If if 8 people out of a 9 or 10 are going for a PhD or something else, and one of them is going for placements, it's always going to be skewed. But rest assured, there are placements, there are opportunities for you, especially in say in science com. There's a lot more happening here with regards to press releases or you getting trained for writing for sciences. A lot of workshops happening by Center of Writing Studies or Writing Sciences. So there's a lot more things. India Bioscience also collaborates with a lot with Ashoka, and they do this thing called crafting your career and how do people can go into different elite fields, not a PhD, not a post, not just industry, but say being a project manager or a communications manager or something else. So there's a lot of opportunities. Bhavna, what do you have to say about the kind of outcomes that people doing an MSc will have?
I think personally speaking, Ashoka is a great place to develop your research interests, explore them, and then I would love to stay in academia. The warmth here at Ashoka even pushes me towards no, academia is not that bad or toxic as told. So yeah, I would love to pursue a PhD, and I'm still figuring it out in what to what. So yeah, in that way I can say that.
Staying away from Twitter and social media is a good way to know academia is not that toxic as it's made to be. And then how, and this is a question for a lot of future applicants, and this will really help them. How was our experiences were there for when we were applying to Ashoka for this MSc biology program that they will also use? So Ajit, how did it go for you?
So, so since we were for the first batch, it was like we have a lot of time to like to start applying and to approach to the deadline. It's been like 2 to 3 months, so we have enough time. And for me, it took like 1 week because to get a letter of recommendation. Yeah, it took 1 week for the application, and moreover, like the application and to getting into the program, it's like very easy actually. But there are like I mean, it's not, the filling of application form is very easy because they will ask basically our interest, because normally when you look at other application forms, there will be like questions which is not relevant. Here they will ask relevant questions which make fit for I mean like fit for the program. So as all the application filling of the application form is very easy, and it won't take that much of time. Yeah. So
I think you covered all the bits. And as mentioned, Ajit was the first batch of the MSc biology program. We are the second batch, and hopefully you can be the third batch. And what would we want to say on that, Yogesh? Is there anything else that you want to add?
So as Ajit said that we do get a lot of time to fill the application, but I would really recommend, like, this worked out for me very well. That use that time to frame your answers in a way that they just project you like not only as a good candidate but also as a good person, because I feel like the bunch of questions which the application form has are really amazing. They're like not very like conventional forms which we see in normal like applications which we fill. So that is one of the things. So please like try to like work on that all the answers properly. And second thing which is very important, which was really interesting for me, was like, since I did not have any national eligibility test, if you have it, you know not to give that internal exam, but I give the internal exam for those students who don't have. That is really interesting. So don't get stressed about it, because it's like 50 questions and they are from all the domains, and it's like a more like a fun quiz. So you'll get very interesting, questions. So don't freak out about that. One important thing. And then once you qualify the internal exams, even the interview, basically they are designed based on the applicant, rather than they don't have like a bunch of questions and they'll throw at your face. No, that's not what happens in the interview. They will ask you based on your specialization. So I was asked, like, if there's a particle inside a cell, how will you identify its velocity, how will you calculate its velocity? So basically based on my field. And that was one of the important things. And yeah, once you qualify it, then you will be just asked to fill the financial aid. So it's very smooth and streamlined process.
Yeah, I think Yogesh dropped a lot of the terms that we'll be hearing in the Q&A, and this is the most usually the most requested questions for application. What I can tell is that when I was selecting or choosing Ashoka, one of the reasons for going ahead with this, the entrance test that you give, if you have not appeared like me, or if you have not qualified JG Pills or other national eligibility exams, Ashoka conducts its own entrance test for MSc Biology, and it is online. Other conventional entrance tests in the country are offline in a center. So I was not there in the country when these things were happening. So I was really glad that Ashoka gave me an opportunity to take this test from anywhere around the world and qualify for it. And same goes for the interview. The interview is online. You are not called to Ashoka, and they're very flexible with the timings. And yeah, but the test is simple. The test is it's not. It tests your basics. Actually, it really tests your basics for these 4 subjects in physics, chemistry, math, biology. And if you're someone who was good in biology or chemistry, or where something happened, that's not a worry. It's a very balanced test, testing your things. When you come to Ashoka, you will be given this orientation boot camp where you learn about statistics, where you learn about physics, where you learn about math, where you learn about data analysis and everything and anything, but a little bit biology, because the biology will continue for your 2 years. But these necessary skills, say in statistics, are very useful. So that's why this program is very, very interesting, with courses like maths and biology, computational mathematical biology. You can, if you want to be someone who wants to do biomedical stuff, you can change that. So yeah, that was my experience applying to Ashoka. Gave the entrance test, qualified for it, was asked for the interview, and gave the interview. And as Yogesh mentioned, that the questions in the interview are always very fundamental. That they test your fundamentals based on what you wrote in your recipe, what was your particular specialization when you were writing an recipe. Because when you write a statement of purpose, you write something that you already worked on, or you already had some experience with. And one interesting thing, I was asked a question based on my Zoom background at that time. I had a very different Zoom background in which there was a mass spectra shown. So one of our professors picked on it and said, "What's behind you? And can you explain the X and Y axis is in a mass spectra?" So these kind of things can happen. So you can always see it's really fun talking to people, especially the PIs here at Ashoka. Ajit, I think sorry, I think I asked you, sorry, it's been continuing long, so I keep forgetting who I asked and who I don't. So I asked you, right?
Yes,
Yes. So
last.
I think we can move ahead for the different questions only to the interest in time. What kind of preparation is required for the entrance exam, the paper pattern, the marks? What is the syllabus for the entrance? Will the tests be held at your home or your center? I think we all covered that. That is a very good thing that we all covered that. There's not a particular preparation that is required for this entrance test. If you want, you can go through past JG Bills, this national eligibility exam papers. You can get a glimpse of the idea, but I don't think you would require any dedicated entrance preparation for Ashoka. It's basically your pure sciences, the 4 pure sciences and more. The paper pattern and the mass structure, unfortunately, I don't remember it. Maybe if someone remembers it, can comment on it.
If you want, I can just tell a little bit.
Sure.
The paper pattern is like, as Siddhant said, please don't worry about it. It's like it's a very easy, like, exam. It's like 50 questions total, I think, and then 10 questions from chemistry, 10 questions from physics, 10 questions from biology, 10 questions from maths, and 10 questions from general knowledge also. So yeah, with that being said, like all these questions are like very interesting. Yeah, I don't know if I can tell you one of the questions. It was like, well, who wrote the book Jungle Book for me? So yeah, there was like fun question. So don't worry about that.
Yeah. Bhavna, what do you want to say about that?
I think if you have your 11th and 12th standard NCRT PCMB, then this test wouldn't like it wouldn't be that hard to crack. It was I had I can't recall per se, but there were questions on basic questions on photosynthesis and photoelectric effect. I remember these two. I don't know why, a selective memory of these two. So yeah, but go through your 11th and 12th NCRT.
Unfortunately, I don't remember any questions, so I will not be able to give you, and you won't be able to find these questions on the internet. If you type Ashoka MSc entrance test, no, these are not on the internet. You can just go ahead with the JG Bills prep material if you want to do. If you have already qualified JG Bills, you are shortlisted for this, where you place your SOP, which is statement of purpose. You get 2 letters of recommendation for your candidature. It can be from your home university. It can be from people that you've worked before. That is very important to have 2 letters of recommendation for a complete application before our deadline. And yeah, you just do that and you get if you have qualified JGBs, you get called for the interview. If you have not, you apply for this test and then you get called for this interview. The interview is very personal. Once that is there, you'll get the final results and the further post processing of your admission will follow. Ajit, am I missing anything for this?
I think we have covered much all, and yeah. So I don't know, like about interview, it is like a 10-minute interview. It won't, so there will be like, so from my experience, there were like 4 professors, and they just asked about our undergraduation. Uh, so based on our SOP, they will ask questions. So while filling the SOP, be careful that you write the truth. So so the based on the SOP only they will ask the questions, and yeah, much of the questions you can answer. And yeah, it is not like a very stressful interview. They will like get to know each other, and yeah, that kind of interview.
Yeah, I think we can move to the audience questions now, because if we run out of time, they'll be very mad at us for not letting them have their say and us blabbering about that. So yeah, I get to the audience question, and I have this first question: are there any scholarships available for this MSc course in at Ashoka? I can say that if you are coming from an directly from an undergrad to this Ashoka, and if you have an Inspire Fellowship, maybe it can be transferred. I've not done that since I had a break. But for people, there's need-based financial aid. There's a whole process of financial aid which is being there in the chat, which is being explained, and it has separate webinars for financial aid. So there are scholarships in the form of financial aids to study here at MSc Ashoka. There might be funds available from a specific PI if you want to work with them, say to go for a conference or to support something. Uh, I cannot be sure about that, and don't quote me on it when you come here. So yeah, is there anything that we want to add, since we'll run out of time? But yeah, if anything that I'm forgetting about the specific scholarships for Ashoka, and I believe if you're from a particular domicile, say if you're from Haryana, there might be scholarships from Haryana government to support your stay. If you're from Chandigarh or Punjab, there are different government universities there that, if I can remember, people in Haryana have a domicile certificate and they'll go through a different route when applying to this portal, because Ashoka is in Sonipat, which is in Haryana. So yeah,
Just
anything that I'm missing?
keep like I don't know. I feel like just keep one thing in mind. Like financial aid office is very considerate about the fact that if you you just like reflect your needs very properly, and I'm pretty sure that studying in Ashoka won't be a burden for you, like financially at least. So because they are very considerate about those factors.
Yeah. And I can say that all of us are on aid. So if you want to have experiences, which I see a lot of questions about how to apply for financial aid, how to get that, there's a separate webinar, and there's a lot. It's need based. It's not merit based. Even if you have scored 100% in your 12th or 10th, it's need based. If you need the money, you'll get the money. It's not that you are the stellar person, and that's why we are giving you the money. It's needs based. It's based on how much your your parents make. It's based on how much your situation is. So that's a different topic. We won't be able to delve more into that. But again, should we choose our specialization while applying, or do we have the flexibility to choose them while studying? I think all of us answered that question, that you do not have to choose. That's why Bhavna mentioned that a lot of the courses here in this country are MSc Biochemistry, MSc Biology, MSc Biotechnology, MSc Microbiology. Here it's MSc Biology. You do not have to choose your specialization. Once you are here, you choose them. You based on you build your study track upon them. So you do not have to choose your specialization while applying. You have the flexibility to choose chemistry while studying, or flexibility to choose physics and move to biology. That's the sky's the limit here. So again, are students who have given national exams but not qualified eligible for the tests that will be organized by Ashoka? Yeah. If you have not qualified for, if you have given JG bills, have you not qualified for that, you are eligible to give the Ashoka entrance exam. That is not a problem. I am forgetting what was the eligibility technically for Ashoka MSc entrance, but if someone can remind me, there might be some percentages for wealth, or there might be something. I'm really not familiar, because we just applied for the MSc entrance test, and we gave the test in a format which is monitored, like a proctored online exam from wherever we were. So yeah, if you have not qualified JJ Pills, you can still give the test. This Ashoka gives you another opportunity to do that. Am I saying everything right, Yogesh? So yeah, that is there. Oh, okay. This is an interesting question. I'll ask Ajit first. Is it mandatory to have any research or dissertation experience before coming to Ashoka?
No, I think I know. No, there is no experience needed because so I was in the COVID batch. That means in 2019 to 2019 to 2022. Yeah, I was in that batch, and most of the lab and research and everything were in an online mode. So I didn't have any kind of wet lab experience, and also I had some research experience, but most of the so while applying, and also if you are shortlisted, there is no, it's not mandatory that you have a research experience or you have a you need an lab experience. All you have it to attend classes, so that the courses and the most of the courses will help you to uh, gain and also experience what is research and how can you use your experience and how to do research. So yeah, so the courses here and the labs here, everything will make you a better researcher. Yeah.
Completely agree with Ajit that you come to Ashoka to explore more, and you do not come Ashoka pre-trained like a already functioning scientist. You learn here to how to be a good scientist, how to do research. So come with, even if you do not have research experience, Ashoka will make sure that you get significant experience in the techniques and hypothesis building, and even basic fundamentals, say research methods and ethics, which is something that is not taught to a lot of people, especially at an early career level. How do you do research ethically? That is something we should all care about. Yogesh, do you have something to add for this question?
Yeah, you have covered pretty much, but it's just that it's always beneficial, but it's never required. Like specifically here,
Yes.
I'm just saying that. Yeah, so yeah, don't worry about that.
Yeah. Bhavna?
Yes, I don't think it's required, but yeah, as Yogesh mentioned, it's better if you have an experience. It shows that, yeah, you are interested in it.
But with that being said, don't I'm pretty sure like neither admission team or not professor will be selecting you based on that how many good internships you had or anything. Because I mean it is in my opinion that they usually look for a person who, as Siddhant was saying, who are open minded and how nicely they can think logically, and how they can frame few like experimental designs properly. That's the only thing which they're looking for.
Yeah, rightly said, Yogesh. Please come here with an open, fertile mind. Look forward to learning with all the opportunities. Do not be cocky if you have done internships outside. Do not, uh, do not, yeah, come here with an open mind. And other question that I have here is, how should we design our statement of purpose, and how should our preparation be to get into Ashoka? Like, how should we preparing, right? If you're there in February and as the application deadline is late April, what should we be doing it? I don't think there's any kind of necessary preparation that you need. Again, we keep saying the same thing, that you do not need to prepare. Be there with an open mind. Be there with your fundamentals cleared. If you want to have some like, experience of this test, go through JG Pills. But how should we design your SOPs is something that a lot of there's a lot of resources available when you go for grad school or when you go for graduate studies. How do you design your SOP? For me, I can say I told in my SOP what I want to do, what I think I will be doing based on my previous experiences, and why my experience as an industry person is beneficial towards coming to Ashoka. Coming from a non-traditional background back to academia, I specifically mentioned that there might be some challenges because I was not into an habit of writing assignments, giving tests, giving presentations for a year. That can be you. That can be you if you have taken a break or any number of reasons. Ashoka is inclusive of people that are here with career breaks. So you do not need to worry about that. But be open, as Ashit, Bhavna, Yogesh all said, be open in your SOP, be truthful in your SOP. Do not post, do not say something that is not there in your CV or that is just out of the bounds. Make a logical flow. Should not be, I think an SOP should not be longer than a page, because there might be some guidelines. Yeah, the SOP should not be longer than a page. Tell about your previous research experience, what you have done, where you have studied, what do you aim to achieve out of Ashoka, or to get out of this Ashoka experiences. And if there's any particular PI that you like here, maybe mention their research. That the goal is to be an open, proactive person who is here to learn and absorb and see whatever this university is giving. So, Bhavna, anything else for the SOP that I'm missing?
Um, there are few things that you just keep them in the back of their head while you're drafting your SOP. Start early. It's not a one-day job. Start early while you're drafting your SOP. Tell what you have done in your undergrad and what is something in your undergrad that maybe while you were listening to a lecture or you came across something on some article that interested in you, and what measures you took to pursue that interest per se. And then look, and I would advise you to go through the Ashoka faculty profiles and look at their research, so you'll get to know what exactly Ashoka is the professors here are doing, so that you can tie up your interest with the Ashoka professor interest, and then you can write something about it. That is something which you can do and which I did too. And then you can mention your long-term goals, if you have, so like pursuing a PhD, or getting through academia. So these are the things that you keep in your mind and draft them, and then ask for your like, maybe if some in your UG, if a professor is helping you out, ask them to review it once. These are something that you write it with your interest and be genuine about it and be passionate about it, and I think that will get you through.
That is indeed a very good answer to this SOP dilemma that people have. Yogesh, do you have something? Because Yogesh was the first batch in the MSc biology structure, and as with the first batches, there's always not a lot of information that is available out there. We are not doing webinars like this for the first batches, so it might be very different from Yogesh as compared to for us. Because when I was joining Ashoka, I looked at this webinar that I'm doing right now with Yogesh and other people speaking, and I could get something out of how do I want to proceed with my application. So do you have something to say, Yogesh?
Hey, I'm so sorry. I think there's a
Yeah, there's a little lag, but we are fine.
okay. Just
Okay, I think in the meanwhile, while Yogesh is trying to connect, Ajit, can you answer the same question?
Yeah, so I think you almost covered the answer, but uh, so one thing that I remember from so we had different meetings for writing SOP and for MSc, because since we were from the first batch. So one thing that professors and also mentors told us that you should be curious. So you need to express your curiosity and also the motivation to apply for the program. So yeah, so basically why you are curious and why you are motivated to apply for the program. That is one thing that you need to write. Then if you have any kind of research or work experience, you can write that, and you can elaborate on that. Then and the possible areas of interest that you have, and finally the career goals and how this kind of research intensive program will help you to achieve your career goal. So if you go to the website, there will be all things mentioned in the website. So before filling the application or before filling the SOP, just go over the website and understand the program very well and start writing the SOP. So that's the advice that I can give you.
Yeah. Although we are coming to a close shortly, but I would like to answer all the questions that we have here in a Q&A. And Yukesh, I think you're back. Do you have anything to add?
Yeah, just one small thing which I have learned from my experiences while applying to PhD. Like, don't repeat those points which you have already mentioned in CV. In a sense, like they should be more. I mean, I don't know. I would say personalize your SOP. I should, when I read it, I should be able to see that how Siddhant, grew as a researcher and as a student, and I need to know a story there. So just keep that in mind. Just don't be very technical. I mean, yeah, that's the thing which I would suggest here.
Yeah, I think moving on. Also, as Ajit mentioned, go through the website carefully, see the latest handbook. There's a very good MSc handbook that's there in Ashoka that lists all the things that you're supposed to do. Go through it multiple times. That will save a lot of your FAQs and a lot of your time when you are applying. So another question that we have here is, are we able to publish any papers with our mentors in this university? Um, I think that is a very subjective question for a lot of people. And I personally believe that the goal of doing science is not to look at the publication but also look at the process of you doing the science and what you are gaining out of it. Publications is always a byproduct. You should not chase publications. That is something that we all agree upon as early career researchers. If you're running behind citations and publications, it might not be the ideal way. Just look at the way to do science by learning and by being open. But yeah, if you're doing an MSc thesis, if it leads to something, there's always opportunities for you to publish. There's always opportunities for you to publish review papers with the PIs here. A lot of undergrads do it, a lot of master students can do it, and PhD certainly would do it. So you do not need to worry about the publications. And if you do research internships, if you do theses, it's always a byproduct. It's always expected that something or the other will come out of it. So if I move on, since we will be wrapping up soon, how is residence? Yeah, this is something that we should touch upon. How is the residence life here in Ashoka, especially for masters in biology candidates? Uh, Bhavna, do you want to start?
Yes. So Ashoka gives a lot of preference or to the work-life balance. We are placed at around 8 kilometers away from the university, and we have continuous shuttles going to and from the university. And so it's like you do your university work, wrap it up, and then come back home. The residence here at Ashoka is very comfortable, and yeah, except the colds are very extreme. I would like to mention that if you're someone who has not been exposed to the cold temperatures, then the cold is very extreme and you don't have heaters. Get your heaters.
This is something that we learn because we have batchmates from all over the parts of the country, how they deal with the Delhi NCR cold and how things are for them. So it's always a good learning experience for peer learning, not academic, but peer learning. So yeah, Ajit, do you have something to say about the residence that we get as master students here in Ashoka?
Yeah, so we have a twin sharing for a bedroom for master students, and it's like a flat kind of building. And yeah, so yeah, so basically, uh, I think by next year or in the coming years, there will be an on-campus facility also, so that students who need to be who wish to stay in the campus can stay. Otherwise, they can go in the off-campus also. So there are like options coming in the coming years. Yeah.
Yogesh, since you have lived both on the on-campus housing, which is the residence halls for the undergrads, and the housing for the master students, what do you have something to compare and contrast and share?
Um, uh, the housing is really good. Like in the sense, two things which I want to mention when Bhavna say that there are shelter services, those are free of cost, and like there's a constant schedule which will be shared with you so that you can just plan your like trip accordingly. And another thing that we also if you're wondering that what about the food, we also have a mess in our like off-campus housing. We on the ground floor of one of the flat, so you can just get the food there, so you don't have to come to campus for meals and other things. So it's pretty much same like in both like off campus or on campus.
Yeah, I agree that we have frequent shuttle services for going back to our residences, and it's always good to have this disconnect between the active happening campus life, which you can stay till the end of the night, where the last shuttle leaves, and you can come back in the morning, and then going back to that community where all the PhDs, all the masters, or other uh, staff, or fact, other staff or senior members of Ashoka are there. It's again a very different community from here, so you get to experience the both of these communities
Just a,
in for the
sorry,
TDI.
just a small addition to what Siddhant just said. If you want to stay on campus, there's no limitation. Like if you have to leave at 12:30, or it's just that the last shuttle is at 12:30. But if you
Yes.
want to stay on campus, you can stay on campus. You're working in the lab overnight, your
Yeah.
choice.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
there is a graduate lounge also. If you want to like
Yes.
take rest on the campus, you can go. There are sofas and other like recliners and everything. So the facilities available.
Yeah, I don't think you'll find this facility anywhere to have unrestricted night access where you can sleep in the grad lounge. If you missed a shuttle, or you have a time sensitive experiment, or you are working late in the night and you want some piece of time. Although I would not recommend the young ones to pull all nighters. Take your sleep, go back by 8, or sorry, by 10. So yeah, finishing up, I want to. This is another question by a person. I want to pursue my interest for disease biology, especially tuberculosis, because of your previous experience in the undergrad. So, how will Ashoka make it more enhanced and different from other universities? I can pick this one. It's easy. That again, you do not want to come here with a preconceived notion that you want what you want to do. Your interests and your expectations for things will change so drastically in 2 years. So you might not even want to work in tuberculosis. You might find something else very, very interesting. So it's good that you have worked and gained some experience in undergrad. And here there are very good labs. Again, with the Triveni Center of Biosciences, we have Dr. Anurag Agarwal, who is a clinician turned into like a physician scientist. He was a director at IGIB in New Delhi. So he'll be a very good person to talk to, because he teaches people disease biology and human physiology. So there are people working on the intersection. The Simons Fellow here are working on the intersection of health, which is your disease biology, and basic sciences concepts. So if you, as someone who wants to make a contribution in the field of health sciences, yeah, you can come to Ashoka and explore this field based on if you want to do it computationally. If you want to work in the lab, there's a lot of labs that are dealing with advanced clinical samples, like Dr. Rama here at Ashoka, doing immunology of those works. So yeah, it's definitely a good option to come here with what you want to do. But yeah, it's always going to be changed. I'm sure it can be changed. So yeah, can we all provide some opportunities for the placements? Can we all provide some information for the placement opportunities after like a master's in science and biology, and what kind of companies can come for placements, and how do they benefit the people that are coming into the field? So I have not yet applied for the place. There's a placement cell here which caters. There's a specialized portal that caters for your placements here. You have to apply. You have to get your CV verified. All the corporate stuff you have to get registered to that, and you will receive updates for the companies that are open for MSc biology. I've not availed that service here from this dispatch, but I think my peers Yogesh and Ajit have. So I'll let them have a take on this question.
So like there is of course, as Siddhant said, there's a superset platform where you register, and you are provided with one of the POCs, like prime. I literally forgot the full form of that. Person of contact. Yeah, whatever. So there's a person to help you with everything, like what information you're supposed to put, and then they will verify your profile, and then you're just enrolled for the placements. And then whenever you see any job profile which is like suiting you, you can just click on apply, and that's it. You don't have to like go back, fill out all the forms. That's very easy process. And secondly, since this is like we are the founding batch, like there are only 2 batches, so they are still working on bringing few more companies, because till now there were no people who wanted to go directly in the uh, uh, like biomedical associated companies. So but important thing is, like, if you find any company which you think is hiring, you can directly contact the CDO with their name and the company details, and CDO will contact on your behalf, and then they will try to bring those companies to the Ashoka. So that is something which is really interesting. So I feel like by when you come here, you will help CDO as well as Ashoka to grow, so that you can reach out to different peoples, and bring out more companies here. So that is something which is interesting.
Yeah, this is an interesting take on this question. And like, if you have applied skills in data analysis or bioinformatics or computational biology, which you will gain through the course of this years, you can always apply through different portals, say LinkedIn, or otherwise, if you are very married to this concept of having a placement after MSc in biology, Ashoka will try its best to help you there. And since it's again peer learning, we also live together in the shared complexes with the people of MA economics, so we can get to know what are the current trends in the market. How does this process work? You're not alone. You have people doing economics and all the analysis for you. So there's again peer learning. I think Ajit will have a very good take on this, since he got placed and he used this portal of Superset to apply for placements in Ashoka. Can you tell us more about it, Ajit? Are the placements were specifically for MSc biology, or was it open to all? And how did the process go for you?
Yeah, so the placements at Ashoka is for every final year students in the camp. Who are in Ashoka. That means UG final years, ASP, that is Ashoka Scholars Program final years, Young Indian Fellows, and Masters, which includes MA English, MSc, and MA Economics. So everyone will be there in this placement cell, and there will be education sector, consulting, finance, health sector. So there are like different sectors come together. And if you feel that you are fit for the position, then you can apply. There will be multiple rounds of interviews, and there will be a test to make sure that we are fit for the position that they are hiring. So there will be like 100 plus, I think. In the first sem itself, more than 100 companies approached us. And yeah, so the thing is that it's very easy, as Yogesh said. Just click if you are interested, and the further processing will be made by the CDO of Ashoka. Yes, that's.
And Bhavna, I would like to ask this: do you see like bioinformatics and computational biology as a skill that is in demand for getting placed?
Hello. Did
Can hear.
Siddhant, could you repeat? I don't know, my
Yeah,
network is breaking down.
that is fine. So bioinformatics and computational biology, I believe, are the skills that you would want to target if you want to get placed. Do you have something in mind?
Uh, Personally speaking, I think Ashoka doesn't, like, if you are asking for companies, that is like biotech companies coming and approaching Ashoka, I do not have the information per se about that. But I don't think Ashoka trains you to be a technician per se. They are looking forward to train you as young researchers. And so I in that context, I don't think I can answer, but I think you have a better take on the computational biology and bioinformatics, uh, Siddhant. I think you
Yeah.
can talk more about
Sure.
that.
Yeah. So I think, like, having worked as a bioinformatics consultant and engineer in the past, so it's very interesting. And people here, like people in the Koita Center of Digital Health, if I can name Dr. Rintu Kutum, if you're here in Ashoka and you want to get placed in certain domains, you can talk to him about what are the recent trending skills that you might want to have. Work with them. You can work with the people involved here, especially in the CS department. There's a lot of crosstalk happening between these departments, and you can get the ancillary skills and apply either off campus, either through Ashoka. And yeah, the people here will try to help you find the right opportunity. One question that before we end, a lot of people that might have is that if you have seen the handbook, it's there in the courses. We might not go in very good detail since we are wrapping up. But what about the MSc thesis? Is it only necessary to do it here? Can you do it outside? Can you try to do it in industry? I think, yes, you can do it here in Ashoka. You can do it outside. A lot of our seniors are doing it outside of Ashoka. That's always a possibility. You can even do it in industry if you want to do that. I think we all are covered. So that's something that is far ahead. But if you want to consider Ashoka for your holistic development based on what you want to do after your second year, say MSc thesis, and after your MSc thesis, you will find a lot of things happening. And especially finally, like if I can wrap it up, because we do not have more questions here uh, in the Q&A box. You can also interact with a lot of UGs. The undergrads here are fantastic. You can talk to them. You can gain experiences. Learning should not be one direction. It can be from all forms. If people are even junior from you, you can learn from them a lot of these tools or techniques and talk to them. So Ashoka is a very holistic community. If I can wrap that up, I don't think we have any more questions. Yeah, I do not think we have any more questions, Parv. Do we have any more questions? If you have any more questions, just let us know. We have some little bit of time to answer your questions, and we'll be available by email, I believe, if you can find us. We'll be available by email for answering your questions, and I hope to see all of the future applicants be here as my juniors or as our juniors in Ashoka, and would love to guide you or would love to talk to you about the fun. And please take a minute to share the feedback form that is please take a minute to fill the feedback form that is there uh, in this Zoom chat for people of this session. Was it useful for you? How did you like it? Do you want to ask more questions? Is there something that we did not cover? It can help the future batches that will do this webinar again and again. So yeah, if there's any more questions, then yeah, I think we can all wrap up. We can start a closing note. I'm sure everyone is hungry and everyone wants to get dinner. So yeah, let's get dinner. Thank you for joining us today for this webinar. I hope you enjoyed being part of this our discussion with Yogesh, Ajit, Bhavna on MSc Biology at Ashoka. Kindly note that the recording of this session is available on Ashoka's YouTube channel in case you would like to share it with your friends, in case you would like to revisit it, or in case if any one of you is seeing it after 6 months, like me, like I saw Yogesh and our seniors. So it's there, it's not going anywhere. Before we wrap up this session, I would like to appreciate again that you look at the chat box, and there's a lot of links that are being shared by the admin here for the handbook, for the placements, for the financial aid, for all these processes. We will have a lot of different webinars for financial aid and other processes, and provide the valuable feedback with us for this form that is linked. Please also note that as mentioned on your screen, the link to the deadline to apply to the MSc Biology program at Ashoka University is 26th April 2024. Please apply soon, secure your seat, get through this process. The application link is also shared by the team in the chat box. If you have further queries, if you want to clarify further on the topics that we did not touch upon, I'm sorry if we did not touch upon on some of the aspects that were not there in our Q&A, we simply forgot about it, please feel free to write to the MSc Biology program coordinators here at Ashoka, which is MSc/biology at the rate. It's mentioned on the on your slides. So once again, I thank my peers to be here with me, to taking out time to participate in this discussion. And this brings us to this end of the session. Please take care, stay safe, have a lovely night and a good dinner. Thank you. Any final words, Bhavna, Ajit, and Yogesh?
Hoping to see you all soon.